I would say, is it time? Is it time that we think about what's everything you just said? He's got a Super Bowl. He did Titletown.
Statue?
Think bigger.
Name the stadium?
No.
Does he get a street named after him?
Street name.
Oh, definitely.
What have we not named yet?
Mount Rushmore
Oh my gosh.
of Green Bay Packers.
By the way, what I thought you were going to say was that they're going to recall it Mount Murphy. Like
Maybe
Mount
we will.
Rushmore. You want to know the greatest Fond du Lac story ever? There was a flood in 2008, which was bad. It was like one of these 100-year floods that now happen every other March. And the people had everything was flooded. People had all this shit and they know where to put it. So organically, there's this pick and save that was closed. So organically, people just started to dump their trash there. And then everyone in the town just said, "Oh, where did you dump your trash?" Oh, they called it Mount Trashmore. And all of a sudden, Fond du Lac just had this giant thing of trash that nobody knew how to do with. And it was Mount Trashmore. But yes, Murphy, Super Bowl, draft, Titletown. Let's stick 'em. I'm not saying today. I'm saying maybe the next time you have trouble sleeping, maybe think about that a little bit.
Bob Harlan versus Mark Murphy. Greater Packers legacy.
Well, these are different eras. I mean, Harlan had to navigate.
But when you're making a Mount Rushmore, you have to account for said eras. Yeah,
it's true.
All right, so the Mount Rushmore of the Green Bay Packers.
Who do you got?
The Mount Rushmore of the Green Bay Packers is.
And by the way, it can be players, it can be anyone, executives, players, anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then Murphy's not on it.
Well, no, but who is?
Starr, Favre, Rodgers.
No, fuck that.
I don't think you can put all three. No. I don't think
you don't have room for all three.
That would be like putting George Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson on Mount Rushmore. Like you can't. It can't do that whole era. It can't. I
would love to hear who were. I mean, we have to.
Lombardi and Lambeau are the two shoo-ins.
But here's my counter for Lambeau is he got the field.
And he was racist. Yeah.
He has the field. Lombardi is.
Lambeau was the coach for 40 years, and he was the one at these city. Who should be on the Mount Rushmore is George Halas.
But it's already called.
Packers don't exist without him. People forget.
So tell me why it's not.
He played for the Yankees one season.
Tell me who's in place of Lombardi, Starr, Favre, Rodgers.
Lambeau.
But I'm saying when you already have Lambeau Field, I think you're accounted for. You've got your thing.
What?
We have the Washington We have the Washington Monument, and he's on Mount Rushmore.
You're taking him off. No, Paul. That's not what this is. We're not actually building a Mount Rushmore. We're not.
No, I would still keep him off.
Keep him off?
Mm-hmm.
Paul, he started the Packers.
That's great.
That's great.
That's great.
Mark Murphy gets the biggest dam in the country. He's Herbert Hoover.
Curly Lambeau is the first person you chisel.
No.
He was the coach for 29 years.
Now you're talking about eras, though. It was
he won 6 champions.
But this is talking about the Celtics.
He was also all-pro.
This is all irrelevant, though, because there was how many teams were there?
Paul, he started the Packers.
And he has Lambeau Field as a result.
That's not – stop saying that.
But that's important.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. His legacy has been
So you're saying, Paul, stop doing this. Let's pretend it's called City Park. Can then Lambeau be on the Mount Rushmore?
So let's be clear. You're saying that he's the first draft pick.
Yes.
Probably.
Do you know how Paul, there are no Packers without him. Not only did he start the Packers, he had to fight like 100 different fucking times to keep them here.
So here's my question. Fine. I might have to put more thought into this. But is there anything that anyone could do to ever, like, is he unseatable as the first?
Probably.
The guy that then is the shoe-in number 2 is Lombardi.
I agree with that.
No, he can't be on.
Because he has a clock outside the stadium?
No, because there's a Lombardi trophy, Paul.
Yeah.
But that's not specific to the Green Bay Packers. That's for the league.
That is true, though. That's a good point.
He's got the ball.
That's a good point. Goddamn. So Favre, Rodgers, or Starr? Probably only have one on.
Wait. Right? Why wouldn't you get 2 of them?
Why has it got to be a quarterback?
Tell me who it is. Tell me who else it is then. Nitschke.
Honest to God, Packers. And then, so you're not in agreement that it should be.
I need to spend this. This is what's hard about being on the other side of is that sometimes you're not prepared. Whereas I come loaded with my Eric Spoelstra shit.
He's prepared to ask. He's not prepared to answer, Bart. That's not his goal.
All right. Okay.
You're rewriting the game, and I didn't sign up for this.
Lambeau is on. Lombardi's on.
I definitely agree with Lombardi. Oh my fuck! I unquestionably agree. So I definitely have 1 spot, maybe 2.
Paul, what you're basically saying is like Bud Selig's on the Brewers Mount Rushmore. Sorry, right?
That's because the Brewers have no one else to put on their Mount
He
Rushmore.
brought the team here and kept them here for 30 years.
And because selling them to a person who had to keep them in Milwaukee.
Lambeau did the same thing.
Keep going. I'm not disagreeing. I genuinely mean this.
Because I think a lot of people.
I'm going to read some more to make sure I have a full. Go ahead.
I think a lot of people are going to say the Starr, Rodgers, and Favre will come up, but under what I'm doing, so we're putting Lambeau and Lombardi. Now, does that mean the next 2 spots are 2 of the 3 quarterbacks?
Yes.
I don't necessarily think so.
So give some nominations.
And this has nothing to do with ways I feel, because I don't like Brett Favre. I don't let my son
put Favre on there. Is that where you're going?
Wait.
He's setting himself up. Yeah.
I don't let my son play with Brett Favre toys. He's an awful human. I have Rodgers toys that he plays with. Because as I've said, Rodgers, I think it's pretty clear how I feel about Rodgers. He's not a bad guy. Mm-hmm. He's a great guy. Mm-hmm. I just don't like anything about him. Rodgers is 3rd of the 3 to go on Mount Rushmore.
I think I'm okay with that.
and part of that is probably keep going, cook.
Go for it. He's contemplating.
Favre might get it over Starr. We've already put Lombardi on. We need another era represented. Starr coach, but sucked. Favre played for the Vikings. You never.
Yeah, that
Rodgers coming 3rd hurts his case. He might be the best.
Rodgers is not on the Mount Rushmore of Green Bay Packers. Rodgers is not on.
Yeah, and I think whoever out of the 3, if all the resumes remain the same, I don't think whoever comes 3rd is getting it because they don't represent, they don't signify the same things. Like Favre resurrected the franchise in the 90s. Rodgers didn't do that, but that's not necessarily his fault because he came after.
Reggie, you think Reggie, like if you look at retired numbers, okay, you think Reggie's he had a lot of his career with the Eagles. I mean, Don Hudson could be somebody that we put on there.
But this is where I go back to like he has the Hudson Center. So like to me, that's a really
the way you are viewing this is so stupid. This is not the question, Paul. How are you so dense about this?
Continue.
We're not making a new Mount Rushmore.
It's like talking with Ram.
If I don't take it as a literal, they're building it, then why are we doing it?
I agree. I do.
You agree with me?
No, I know where you're coming from. I see where it's just funny that you keep
but it's funny that you can't
have a list of what's named after who just ready to go. That's why
I have nothing ready to go. You flipped the game on me.
Star's got a street. Bart Starr's got Starr Plaza across at the Reg Center.
Not as important as a field or a practice facility, but okay.
He's got him ranked. What means more? This is so awesome.
No, wait. You would rather have the practice facility or the stadium named after you than a street.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. A lot of people have streets
or a plaza.
Yeah. Who would be the fourth? So we think Lambeau, Lombardi, quarterback of choice. I think Favre is a good way to go.
I think right now I'm at Lambeau, Lombardi, Starr, and Favre.
Okay. I don't know that there's another person that's so overwhelming to kick either Favre or Starr.
Rodgers is in the conversation.
Who else is in? I'm really curious who would be like 6th, 7th, and 8th place.
I don't know that Holmgren always gets his due for what he did in the 90s.
He quit on the team.
He did have a messy exit, so I do think that's part of
Huston has to be in there. Paul Horning.
Why haven't we said Nitschke yet?
Yeah, Nitschke.
I'd probably have Nitschke higher than the last couple you've named.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is tough. God, Mount Rushmore's.
Look, now I'm just going to be a total, because I have to. I have to be me here for a second. I have no choice but to be me. If
I like me.
I'm a pretty big fan. One of my biggest is myself. If they were literally building it, Bart, they're literally building it for real. And Lambeau Field is Lambeau Field.
I don't. This is worse than I can't understand this.
I need to know.
So why is George Washington on Mount Rushmore when there's the Washington Monument?
They're like 1,000 miles apart from each other.
Holy shit. Paul, it's called Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And there's a Washington Monument.
And a Washington State.
Yeah.
I think this is so funny.
So if you were building it for real, though, it would not work. I'm going to force you to answer the question.
If you're building it for real, no matter where your name has been elsewhere, you are still allowed to be on it.
Yeah. I'm not saying you're not allowed.
It doesn't disqualify you.
Okay. This is my favorite part, just so you know.
This is the way you used to get with Chuck. That's what this is. This is how you used to get with Chuck over certain things.
Do you understand? Because he'd be so stupid about something. Mount Rushmore of the Brewers.
Okay.
Seelig. Number one. Unquestioned. Because here's my rule.
Yelich is back.
If you found a team and keep a team in a city, you're on the Mount Rushmore.
Well, as long as we're setting precedents.
Do you see what I did there?
I agree. You're the one who's not in agreement over Lambeau.
Right.
Okay. All right. Seelig.
And
then I was going to say Molitor, Braun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of those got to go for Euchre.
Oh, you're right.
Good point.
You're right.
God, it sucks. Council probably isn't going to win a World Series as manager because if he did, he'd be interested.
Maybe
if Rodgers had won a second Super Bowl with the Packers, does he elevate to Mount Rushmore in Green Bay?
He's higher than Favre.
Okay,
he would have passed Favre, right?
Euchre.
I don't know. Favre.
He changed the whole thing. Oh. Okay, so Euchre, Seelig,
Braun.
I have to. I say Yount because Yount has remained part of Brewers. He's a Brewer.
I don't
Molitor's
know.
a twin.
Molitor bailed. He went to the.
Molitor's a Blue Jay. He's a twin.
But they went to a World Series allegedly.
Yeah, it's Braun, Yount, Euchre, Seelig.
I love that Braun's on there.
Bucks.
Bucks. Oh, this is so fun. Even though I've gotten under your skin. Giannis, Kareem. Herb Cole. He kept the team here.
I was going to bring this up early. I said, okay, so if we're doing a Bucks Mount Rushmore, does that mean Herb Cole has to be on it?
You've set the precedent, motherfucker.
There's no hardcore precedent for Mount Rushmore's.
Bart has set the precedent.
Oh,
If
yeah,
the team
Lambeau won
loses,
championships.
The difference between Curly Lambeau and Herb Cole
Massive.
is the difference between
there's a big difference.
giant and an ant.
There's a big difference, but it's not a ton different necessarily than Seelig and the Brewers.
But
What about
also,
Larry
did Curly
Costello?
Lambeau have a successful political career? Do we give credit? Does Herb Cole get credit for that in the sports realm? He did.
No.
What about John McLaughlin? He's Mr. Buck.
Jack Knight
Rockland's
jumper?
got to be under consideration, actually.
Marcus Johnson?
What about this guy was part of the 1971 championship team? Marvin Winkler.
He's on there.
Bobby Dandridge? Oscar Robertson?
Giannis?
If it hadn't,
Is it possible that Chris Middleton's on there?
no, shut up.
Should get his number retired though, and will. Should and will
get his number retired. Is not even on the nomination form for Mount Rushmore.
Agreed.
All right. How about Admiral Zonercheck?
No, hold on. I don't feel like we've gotten even close to Bucks yet. So wait, it's Giannis and Kareem, right? Like they're the first two you start carving.
Yeah.
I think honestly, you'd carve
Hold on,
them twice. You carved them in a road and road and home jerseys.
We're not. I mean, how Kareem left Milwaukee is not such a stain that it.
No one cares anymore because we got Giannis.
We get Lou Alcindor and we get Kareem. We get both on the Mount Rushmore.
And we get Giannis Antetokounmpo and Giannis Adetokounmpo or whatever his name was on his
the alphabet. It'll just say the alphabet under his head.
Oh, I really want to. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to rest.
We can name a trash can at the park for Ted Davis.
Well, I was going to say, so Ted Davis isn't on the Mount Rushmore. Okay.
No, he's in Mount Trashmore.
He can get a drinking fountain, a stone brick drinking fountain.
Yeah, and he can be bitter the whole time that he's there.
We don't have to say too much, but I think someone needs to at least mention Jerm Paschke from Bucks basketball. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He deserves a mention.
Well, yeah, but then I would put McLaughlin over him.
I would too.
Interesting.
Really, who's 3 and 4?
I don't know.
I
Maybe we can leave that up to the Carl's Place voicemail.
If George Karl hadn't Ray Allen, he was on his way. He achieved Hollywood fame while a Milwaukee Buck, if we're counting the outside achievements.
I think we're sleeping on Marcus Johnson a little bit. And I wasn't around for that era, but his impact for the Bucks, like ask my mom. My parents have never been diehard Bucks fans since they were little.
Hey, if Michael Jordan is a poster of you on his wall,
the original MJ, and he's still got ties to the franchise. I think he's awesome on TV.
He's so good.
He's so good. He's great. Steve Novak. Speaking of good on TV,
he's on the book burning Hall of Fame, Mount Rushmore.
So Glenn Robinson's not. We don't. No Big Dog, no Cassell, no George Karl. I mean, he's iconic.
So what I want to do is when we decide guys who aren't on the Mount Rushmore, we need to assign an American monument to them, like their status. Like when I said Mike Holmgren is like Herbert Hoover and he gets the dam in Las Vegas. Like that's
Ooh, I like this. We could really do something with this.
I know.
So if we were to take only
Mount Rushmore talk on the Bart Winkler Show is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Promo code Bart for your Father's Day gathering. By Happy Place Hemp. 25% off with the promo code BART. By Carl's Place. Golf simulators for you and yours. Carl's Place online. And by Dan Schani Insurance. And Perkins. Bucks basketball from Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan.
It's Tuesday night because every hypothetical Bucks game we've ever talked about is Tuesday night.
On a Tuesday night in Charlotte.
Yep. Why is it of all the things that's most easy to impersonate, it's the sponsor billboard. Like anyone can do that and sound like the announcer.
Bucks basketball on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
I miss the Fox Sports Wisconsin music. Baseball and basketball.
Oh, that guy is shredding.
Nice.
God, you know what? If you had a band, we can wrap this up. If you had a band and you played at Summerfest, how do you not just bust out the Fox Sports Wisconsin song as your fucking set?
Cover
opener
the shit out of that song.
and just shred through a whole guitar.
But then you would need your lead singer to be like, Bucks basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then you bring Paschke out on stage, and he's got, like, the mic, and he's like, Bucks basketball.
By the way, what is the Mount Rushmore of Andrew McMahon songs, Bart?
He sucks.
I don't know who that is.
Now you do.
Well, I know he sucks. I don't know who
No,
he is.
I sent you.
No, that's the guy Paul's
song.
trying to,
Oh.
He's fine. What's the Mount Rushmore?
I was genuinely offended last night, just so you know.
What's the Mount Rushmore of 12:50 a.m. The Fan?
There we go.
Oh, wow. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
By the way, we didn't talk. I mean, we didn't mention Leroy's name for the Mount Rushmore. He should have. He was deserving of a mention.
Can Cutting Edge Outdoors just collectively get a spot on the Mount Rushmore? I don't know what you would carve, but
who else who's under like top consideration in addition to Sparky?
I've got it. I've got the 4.
Okay.
I'll tell you if you're right or not.
I think
Sparky's there. Yeah, he's George Washington.
so. You got Ellerson, Wickett, Freeman,
And 2 of those are right.
Wonkler. 2 of those are right. Chuck,
I think it's Sparky, Gary, Chuck, and Bill.
I was going to say Unit should probably be on there.
Is there anyone that's like from the? What about Tim Allen?
Ooh,
I think you missed out.
Rodgers. Shit.
Tim Allen's on there for me.
So then who does he kick off? Bill.
I don't know. I don't know, but Tim is like his, last pitch, make the switch. I mean, that's
a good one. So then Gary and Sparky are there.
I think it's Gary, Sparky. Oh my God.
So then if Tim's on, then maybe Chuck's off. I think Bill's on.
Uh-huh.
Bill was statewide.
Yeah, but Bill, when they got Bill, it was like before I came and tried to destroy him every day, it was like it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was.
Well, now every Tom, Dick, and Harry with more than one affiliate calls himself statewide. Bill is statewide. Like, I am not statewide. I actually don't know where like the game has affiliates, but no one's statewide like Bill. Like, Bill should be the only one who gets to say from the lakefront to the riverfront.
I agree. Some people may be on affiliates across the state, but that doesn't mean people are listening to them.
I don't know exactly what that means, but I agree with you.
Like, if you live in Eagle River, you don't like Mike Heller's show.
Yeah.
You like Bill's show.
You like Bill. Mm-hmm.
And Bill can do the show. I used to argue that Bill's show was too statewide.
And it's not like Bill hides that he's in Milwaukee. Like, he'll talk about concerts and events that he's doing, but he does it in a way that's more palatable, because I listen to a lot of these shows, and there's some shows that are like, we happen to be on other stations, but we don't care. Like, we're going to do the show as a Milwaukee show, and if other people want to come along for the ride, fine. Bill is not like that.
So speaking of like topics that can be very casual but can also be very nuanced, we did Mount Rushmore. We took it very seriously, and it rocked. Like, this was great. And now I have to go
post it separate on YouTube.
And I'm putting a 95% chance on the possibility that I come back next week and apologize vehemently about my.
Oh, I'm putting 100.
I still can't get past the fact that he's already got his thing.
That
I'm
is
going to
so weird. That is.
I'm sorry. So
it's really not. I think that's awesome that your brain is working that way, Paul.
Yeah,
it's stuck. It's stuck. I don't want it to be stuck.
The fact that the concept of Mount Rushmore is the easiest to grasp, and you can't figure it out, is ridiculous.
No, I can figure it out in a deeper level than you are thinking about it.